Mystic Writer, and welcome to another episode of CoasterFaQs Reacts, a series where we look at up-and-coming roller coasters, rides, and attractions. Now, for this episode, we are looking at Steel Taipan, a new Mack Launch Coaster coming to Dreamworld, Australia. Through my research, I've heard this coaster is going to be fairly similar to the Blue Fire Coaster, a similar coaster that another coaster that Mack has done. And I don't know exactly where that one is. Leave it in the comments if you do. And from what I can tell on the stats, this thing is Steel Taipan is going to be a pretty solid roller coaster. Not super big stats, but still good stats. Nevertheless, it has a max height of 128 foot, top speed of 65.2 miles an hour. Has a length of 3,937 feet and have 4 inversions. Notable elements on this thing would be the LSM launch, which through my research I also found that it does a multi-pass thing, which basically means that you launch through it one way and then you launch through the same launch again in the opposite direction. And it's also going to have as well as featuring a vertical loop, a twisted horseshoe roll, which I think is the same element that's on Maverick at Cedar Point, just before the second launch, as well as this also has an inline twist. So a pretty good assortment of inversions. And on that note, let's get into the video. The video is from Parks on the Coast, and here we go. Okay, that was Steel Taipan. From what I could tell, pretty good layout. There's a few along with the 4 inversions. There's also some overbanks, bunch of points where I can tell there's going to be some airtime, ejector and floater airtime, and some lateral Gs, as well as just an overall good feel. As well as just one thing I forgot to mention before we did the video was the theming Steel Taipan. For those who don't know, what a taipan is a very venomous snake. So we once again have another there's another roller coaster that's themed to snakes. So not that original of a theme, but what are you gonna do? But But despite the lack of originality in its theming, the coaster is all around just really good. It's a nice layout, a good assortment of inversions, as well as the inversions. They're not just back to back; they're spread out. The only two inversions that are back to back is the two inversions on that horseshoe roll, from what I can tell. But and in between the inversions, once again, are those mentioned airtime points of airtime, as well as some nice twisted and overbanks. So it's definitely going to be a pretty cool coaster to ride. The thing that was also really cool was that launch where you go first, you go forward, go up partway up the side. I do see you can probably get some laterals there as you feel like you're hanging off the side of the train. Then you get launched backwards into that vertical spiral roll where you go up and then you go back down. Once again, more floating laterals there. Laterals where you're just floating towards the side, well, hanging from one side, and then you launch again to max speed and then go over the overbank. So it is definitely going to be all around. I say it's a really cool coaster, a lot of fun, and is going to be really cool to see. Definitely, I don't know what all the coasters are at Dreamworld Australia, but from what I can tell, from what I've heard, they don't have that many really cool coasters, and none of their coasters are really modern coasters. So this is definitely going to be a good fit for the park. And on that note, this is the Mystic Rider, and I'll see you next time.